What is up, you bozos? We're back.
We haven't been here in a bit.
We haven't been here in a real long time. Like, even look who is back. Tommy
We got
B is
Tommy
back.
back.
Guys, 2025, huh? You know, how well, first of all, congratulations for making it, both of you. I think that is kind of in order. You know, it's a wacky world out there. But you know what? We figured, we'd make the best of it, and we'd kind of shift what we're doing a little bit. To kind of keep up with the times and, try something new out. So we figured we'd, take the first couple of days in January and give you something cool. So I think this is Mikey's brainchild. So I'm going to let him kind of lead us into what the new iteration of Bar Down Breakdown just could be,
Yeah, I really just felt like I was disconnected from the music world after really the Richmond date of Bar Down Breakfest. And I did need to recharge the batteries a little bit and kind of just figure out how to be a dad of two. And as I was like working today, it literally came to me. I was like, I need to talk music with Tom and Justin again. And I don't want to talk hockey because the New York Islanders literally make me super angry. So for the time being, we're going to just be kind of a music podcast live stream kind of thingamajiggy. And we're going to just really look at our release radars on Fridays, pick some random tracks, not listen to anything, and just live react to some new music. And hopefully we find some new bands that we love and you do as well. That's kind of really just what I wanted to do.
Tonight's a little bit different though because we've all listened to these songs before. These are just kind of like the songs that have really kind of hit us from January till December of 2024. Songs that came out that we were really listening to, from friends, from bands that we really love, and yeah, I mean, I'm really stoked on it. I have a few songs from bands that I really like, from bands that were on Bar Down Breakfest this year, and then I have songs from bands that you might not have heard of, or if you have heard of them, kudos to you.
Well, I do want to jump in because I actually did not listen to some of these tracks like that you sent me, Justin. I literally, one of the bands I'd never even heard of, so I'm super pumped for that.
Yes.
And then
I'm going in fully blind here.
I don't even think
so.
I don't think
I
you were
wasn't
on
even
that
on
thread.
the chat when Mikey asked me what my songs were.
That's fine. I'm cool with it.
Yeah. So I'm really pumped to hear Tom's just blind live reaction to some new music.
Let's do it, baby.
All right. So I guess we can jump right into the first song that we're going to react to. And it's one of our good friends in Never Home. They played Bar Down Breakfest 2 years in Charlotte, North Carolina. They're back making new music, and we're super excited for them. They have their EP release show coming up in Charlotte in a couple of weeks with some other friends like Frontside. So
and Rothschild too, I believe.
Yep, at Petra's in Charlotte, and yeah, they finally got some new music and they got a new video, so we can start doing our thing, a nice live reaction. I love Nick's man bun he got now.
I know, right?
What beach do you think they're on?
Wrightsville.
Probably, right?
I've been down this road before. I'm in my mind about
Oh, he's got such a great voice, man. He really does.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
But I said those words so many times that it's hard to trust in my own mind. Always turn around before I reach the light. But as the fog starts to lift, I'm staring at the things I missed while I was lost in my head again. Now I'm waiting on these shores like you.
I love that screechy guitar.
Yeah, it sounds like that's an octave pedal kick going on there.
Yeah. It's a quintessential Strat sound.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, Nick just joined the stream, so he's listening to his own band right now.
Hey!
We're testing this out, Nick. Don't judge us. We're trying something new. Yeah, it's definitely not a Long Island beach.
No. Cut your foot on a bunch of rocks.
So I'm making my way back to her. Now I'm waiting on these shores like you foretold. And as the seasons change in color, I'm still waiting for the summer.
I'm assuming that's the Outer Banks.
Nick, what beach is that on? Oh, Folly Beach, South Carolina. We're both wrong.
Okay.
Oh, we're rocking a guitar solo, huh?
I'm waiting on these shores like you foretold.
Cool refrain. I like that.
And as the seasons change in color, I'm still waiting for the summer. Now I'm waiting on these shores like you foretold. And as the seasons change in color, I'm still waiting for the summer. I will take another chance to sail on the waves that I call home. And if it's not too much to ask, I think that I'll just set sail alone.
That's a cool end shot to the video.
Yeah, man. I dug that, man.
Hell
That's
yeah,
that's
never
a cool
heard.
track. I mean, the chorus is like super, it's super catchy, right?
Yes.
And you can kind of tell that they've they've kind of like improved their whole songwriting deal since the last stuff that they've released. Like you can kind of hear it in their transitions, and you can kind of hear it in how they're kind of moving in, not just like in between parts, but the kind of the kind of things they're doing with their guitar lines that are kind of sort of bringing like an overarching theme to the tune. And then you got that little cool kind of 5-second start part where you kind of break up the the tempo a little bit, which is cool. No, it's a great song, man. I think it's awesome.
It's funny too, because
Yeah,
I
we
feel
just
like
had to
Mikey
wait.
and I have been listening to this album for how long?
At least it's like a year. Like I feel like
Yeah, I
Nick
feel
might
like-
have sent it to us before Bar Down Breakfest for
Oh,
sure,
wow.
right?
Yeah, I feel like I've been listening to this for at least a year now, and it's just really cool to finally like see it come to fruition after so long. Be like, I don't have to go to Dropbox to listen to this anymore.
Right? Yeah. I think I think it's a great it's a great video. It's a lot of fun. It kind of shows them playing and just kind of gives you a good sense of who they are, and it's a great pick for a single for sure. definitely. I haven't had the pleasure of hearing the whole record, but for a single, I think that kind of speaks volumes. That does.
Yeah, and truthfully, Never Home got on my radar because some kind of like influencer, I guess you can call her, on TikTok does like the top 5 bands from every state,
Sure.
and Never Home was the band that she picked for North Carolina.
Huh.
And then obviously I go and start listening to them. I'm like, oh damn it, this band's not even a band anymore.
Right. Yeah.
But we got them back. They played Bar Down Breakfest year 2 as a little reunion, and then that kind of ignited the fire a little bit and got them wanting to get in the studio again and make some new tunes. They got a little bit of a different lineup, and absolutely love the EP and the way that they've packaged everything. Like if you go to their socials, like all of their posts for the singles and for the EP are just so well done. Like they definitely are presenting this the right way, and wish them the best, man. I wish that we could get them on for like a normal episode of Bar Down Breakdown, because we promised that to Nick a long time ago, but I don't know if that version of Bar Down Breakdown is going to come back for a very long time. So had to throw them in on our very first little live reaction. But yeah, video is fun. I think it was important that they put out a video, especially since they're releasing music for the first time, where if they just like released a single and had kind of the album art or even a lyric video, it might not have hit home as much. But
Right.
to see them out there jamming together was a cool little reintroduction to Never Home.
For sure. And like I said, I think that in a scene that can kind of get flooded with a lot of pop punk and emo adjacent music and things like that, I think they're doing pretty good to stand out. I think there's a big difference between emulating the bands that you like and taking influence from them, right? And I kind of feel like that's the Never Home formula, right? Like I don't feel like they're trying to be another band, right? I feel like they are, in their songwriting, they're taking elements from some of the bands that you hear in this kind of in this circle, we'll call it, right? And they're taking some of those tropes and they're really pulling out some of the good things about them. I think of kind of a lot of the leads that went through that whole song, and that's like kind of the whole idea of having 2 guitars, right? You got someone to play your rhythm and someone to kind of add those flourishes and stuff. But I think that not only the way it was recorded, but just the way that the rhythm and the lead parts kind of played off one another. It's pretty mature, right? It's pretty mature for songwriting. So, good on them for kind of hitting that stride.
And it's cool too because like they just put out another.
Would say that they.
Oh, we're crossing streams here.
Yeah, I was just gonna say this is our trial run, so none of us know when to talk. So just bear with us. We'll figure this out eventually.
I was just gonna say they just put out another song. They're doing a song every 4 to 6 weeks, which is pretty much the standard right now. So
that's kind of what people do, right? Yeah.
So yeah, Beautiful Years was their last single that they put out in December. And then the song that we just listened to, which was Set Sail Alone, was their first release since 2018, I believe.
Wow.
And I think they put that one out in November, like mid-November. So
that's big. That's big, man. That's 6 years. That's big.
Yeah. Well, they were just on almost like a permanent hiatus until we kind of bullied them back into existence. So it's just,
if that's our legacy, that's great.
We just bully bands into coming back. So
I love that.
We gotta this is our we're putting it into fruition. 2025 we're gonna bully some other band that's never come back to come back and play some more shows around
Yeah,
the world.
let's shoot for the stars and go for Rage Against the Machine, right?
They're already. Oh, they were basically back.
Yeah, but then they left again. But let's get them back again.
No, I was thinking more for we're gonna manifest as Tall as Lions coming back this year.
Oh,
dude.
no, you know what?
I try all the
we
time.
can't because I think Dan is worth like millions of dollars now. So like he's probably like, I don't need to do that.
So it's a much more comfortable.
He's definitely
tour for
worth
them now.
millions of dollars.
Yeah, he's like, don't worry, I just wrote an entire Olivia Rodrigo record. I'm cool.
Who?
Fucking A, man.
Yep.
Oh boy, Mikey,
Dude,
what's next, buddy?
We're gonna send it down to South Florida with our buddy Jared in Last Disaster.
Oh, great band. I love Last Disaster. Here we go.
Absolutely great band.
Yeah, man.
And they just had a show last night, and I've seen clips of the next band that we're going to add on our live reaction. And this is one of the videos that I have seen before, and there's a reason that I've seen it before. Part of it at the Orlando date of Bar Down Breakfest, so you'll see some cool cameos in this one.
Looking forward to this.
So let's get
cool cameos.
I can never get enough of that D-beat punk. It's that the Dudaka, you know? It's like my favorite.
The Dudaka?
I love it, dude.
I feel like you can't have a pop punk band without a Dudaka.
Oh, for sure. Mikey, do you get Derek vibes from Stage too?
a little bit. I honestly like his voice a little bit better than Derek's.
Yeah. I think they're pretty similar. It kind of
It's like
gives me
it's
a little bit of
like apparently I'm melting vibes.
Big.
Just push me out your window. The writing on the wall in your room suggested you should do so.
Was that my boy Tony? Did I just see my boy Tony?
Dude, everyone's in it.
Tony filmed the video. Tony Murphy was probably in it.
Yeah, right. Hey.
Yep. Uncle Lou's.
Yeah, there we are, baby. I love that.
There he is.
There he is. Ooh, that falsetto. What's up with that?
Oh yeah.
Jared's running
This
bars
looks
on
so
everybody.
fun. I wish I was there.
If there's one thing I regret, it's asking you to just forget me altogether. Should've known better. Giving down on old friends, blindly suffocating.
Oh, that halftime part.
If there's one thing I regret, it's asking you to just forget me altogether. I should've known better.
That's another killer track, man. That's a good one.
He's so good, man.
That's a good one. Yeah, I mean, like, so it like, right. So I'm gonna make a comparison to the starting lines, Say It Like You Mean It. And the reason I'm making this comparison is tempo, right? Like, so, you know, one of the like really important things about pop punk is kind of like finding that really kind of like that good speed for a track, because you don't want it to be too fast and be unintelligible, and you don't want it to be too slow that people can't move to it. And I feel like the starting line, Say It Like You Mean It, like had so many tracks on it that were just the perfect pace. And I feel like this song has just like the perfect pace. Like it kind of is quick and it speeds along, but it's got it's got some changes in rhythm that kind of make it not seem so linear, right? Because you've got the beginning part with the fast punk beat, and then you kind of get that single time feel, and then you get a little bit of that double time feel towards the end of the song. So they're doing a lot with it, right? And I mean, like, pop punk can kind of get boring sometimes, right? So you really want to throw in a lot of things that make a listener kind of be like, oh, that was cool, and oh, like, let me listen to that again, right? And I think this song has a lot of that, like a lot of things where you could kind of go back 30 seconds and be like, that was super cool, like, let me hear this part again. So it's great when a band can do that, can kind of engage you and keep you coming back to listen. And I think this song really does that, like in a really good way.
And I love that the dual vocals is still around, because I know that Last Disaster has kind of gone through some lineup changes and kind of member changes, and
right, yeah,
that was one of my like things that really caught me to Last Disaster, because Jared's voice is beautiful, but then like having just a slightly different voice mixed in throughout the song is just like refreshing, and
right,
it's done tastefully.
Yeah, and we were talking before off camera. You had mentioned to me, you were talking about how Hot Mulligan technically has like two vocalists, but they sound so similar that like sometimes you don't even realize what's going on. And that's another thing I think, unless like you're really listening, that's like another thing like with 4 Year Strong, I think too, where like Dan and Alan's voices are so similar to one another that sometimes like you can't really tell who's singing unless like you're really watching. But I love it when you get two vocalists that are a little different, because it really makes it really gives the song like a different level of depth, and I think Last Disaster's kind of got that,
Yeah, 100%. And it's like really cool, like seeing them play live too. Like you was saying, like we wish we were at the music video, because half the music video was filmed at Bar Down Breakfest in Orlando, and then the other half of the music video, the live performance, was filmed while we were all in Charlotte,
right,
at Uncle Lou's. So we were unfortunately unable to be there, but the way that Jared is able to kind of like build out these like vocal lines and vocal patterns to speak to his like musical ability and like the years that he spent in choir and singing in bands and singing on his own, and
for sure,
it just shows like that level of musicianship that he has. And I've known Jared since he was like probably a sophomore in high school, and it's just really cool seeing like his first band that he played in till now.
Yeah, right. I mean, like, it doesn't get much better than that. Like when you have a personal connection with someone and you get to watch them, kind of professionally develop and, kind of make their way through music. It's cool. Like you get kind of like a proud dad feeling, like where you're just like, oh, like, I'm so glad that these guys are doing great. I was able to, see his band when he was 16, and I knew the kind of passion he had for this. So, I think that's awesome, and I definitely would be interested to hear Last Disaster tackle like a starting line song. Like I'd be very interested to see kind of like what sort of spin they'd put on it.
Well, they did do the Swellers cover.
Oh, they covered it. What Swellers song did they cover?
The Best I Ever Had.
Oh, it's such a good song.
And then they also did You'll Shoot Your Eye Out by Fall Out Boy.
Another good song. They did it.
Yeah.
They Okay, yeah, that's a really fun one. But yeah, that Sweller song is great. Ooh,
Yes, you check out the cover. If you guys haven't checked out the cover, definitely go listen to it on whatever streaming platform is your
yeah, I'm gonna do
provider
that
of
when we're
choice.
done for sure, because that's one of my favorite Sweller songs.
Yeah, it's great. Tony Murphy's on it as well from Overthinker. I think he mix mastered it as well. So it's just great. It's a great song from Rift City Studios here in Orlando. So go
Right.
support them and go check out Overthinker too.
Yeah, you don't gotta tell me. They were literally all top 5 of my songs for the year 2024. But yeah,
Mikey just
I
opens
guess
his
we can
Spotify and
jump
it's just
into the next track.
Overthinker.
That's it.
Pretty much, because like if you don't drive to work listening to what's it, Agoraphobia or whatever the one that, yeah, like if you don't drive just listening to that and be like, yep, I hate work, and you're not alive then.
See, my commute to work is from my bedroom to my desk.
Yeah, that's the best commute, isn't it?
That's the best commute.
Mm-hmm. All right, Mikey, drop another one on us, buddy.
The next track is the Dirty Lowdown, who also played year 3 of Bar Down Breakfest. This one's a little bit bittersweet though, because at that show they did announce that that actually already passed. So the Dirty Lowdown isn't a thing anymore. There's some projects that are going to be coming from it, which I'm super excited for. But this is the first released music. Is the vocalist for the Dirty Lowdown, and it's cool to hear him do like the previous recorded stuff, but now to hear him doing his own stuff, hearing it, even though like I have heard some of these songs before, like hearing the studio version and seeing the video and whatnot is just really cool, and super excited to see what projects come from that. But yeah, this is the Dirty Lowdown, The Fall, filmed right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. So let's get to it.
Never gonna grow if I know it all. Always in the throes, waiting for the fall. Grow up these days, I feel my words fade. Bitter, it's always the same things. I'm not gonna grow. My medicine's been taken. Habitual salvation. I'm not getting better. I'd rather die in this snow. Lay, sleep, escapes, be staring at the ceiling. Fear, yes, taking its soul.
Everybody in this band has like a ridiculous flow.
Yes. The vibes of this band are ridiculous.
Ooh, what do we got going on there?
Oh yeah.
Got the Johnny Craig chicken, huh? Flipping octave. These days I feel my words bitter, it's always the same things. I'm not gonna grow. My medicine's been taken. Habitual salvation. I'm not getting better. I'd rather die in the snow. Ooh. Thick bill. Can a sunlight drag me down? Get the color in and bring me out of this cloud. Yeah, we're running towards the edge now.
Vision of me, yeah, you said that I didn't know you. Did I ever know you? These days I feel my world fade. Bitter, it's always the same things. Not gonna grow. My medicine's been taken. Habitual salvation. I'm not getting better, I'd rather I die in this
Woo!
gonna grow. Never gonna grow. Never gonna grow. These days I feel my worth fade. Bitter, it's always the same things. I'm not gonna grow. My medicine's been taken. Habitual salvation. Not getting better, I'd rather I die in the snow. These days I feel my heart ache. Different yet always the same things. I'm broken and I know. But I'm picking up the pieces. Day by day, just leave me
Whoa.
Yeah. So besides being named after one of the greatest Scotsmen ever, William Wallace, his vocal styling is like, I think you had mentioned it earlier, like he has a lot of that kind of, that Johnny Craig-esque, but even like going further, I feel like he's like the best mix of both Emarosa singers, like both Bradley and Johnny, with like a little bit of what's his guy? What's the dude's name from
Tyler Carter.
Tyler Carter?
Yeah.
Yes. See, we're on the same wavelength here.
Yeah. No, I definitely got that vibe. You know what other vibe I got? Which is this. Yeah, go for it.
Because I know you've kind of been a little removed. I know you've been kind of a little removed from Bar Down Breakdown a little bit. So like, we've obviously, Justin and I talked about the Dirty Lowdown for a while. Justin out of times played with them a bunch of times. Like, is this a new one for you? Like,
yeah,
do you have any idea who they were?
Totally new one for me. Never heard them before. Yeah, I get a vibe. I get that like Emarosa vibe, which I really dig. This little lesser known band from Australia called Closure in Moscow, who are fucking great. I get a bang off of them too, with kind of some of the guitar work that was going on. Really wacky guitar stuff, man. Like super cool. Definitely very, very different. Like you can, like the whole, we were just talking about with the first two bands we were listening to, how the kind of pop punk mold of having your rhythm guitarist and your lead guitarist, and they kind of like play off of one another. Well, this is just like all lead guitar, like which is great. And the kind of effects and noise that he's using, and kind of how wet he's able to make it sound when he needs to, and how like kind of wall of sound they were able to get was really cool. And then just the way the vocal melodies pervade that was great. And one of the things I loved too is I think it was maybe it was in like the pre-chorus. I don't remember exactly where it was, but he had this little vocal line where he did these triplets that were pretty cool. It was like da 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 da, and kind of like sort of like played with kind of the rhythm of the song a little bit, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I would definitely be down to listen to more of them for sure.
Yeah, like I said, it's kind of bittersweet.
Well, yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna. I guess what they have is what they have. But no, they were really good. How did you guys kind of find them?
They're a Charlotte, North Carolina band.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like
They-
we were looking for it was that Overthinker tour that we had done
Mhm.
2 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
Because I feel like it was the year before last we came up with Overthinker before you Bar Down Year 2,
Mhm.
and that was like the Dirty Lowdowns maybe second or third show that they had played,
Cool.
and it was at Skylark, and what got me was they did an Alexis on
Alexis on
Fire
Fire.
cover.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I was like, anybody who has the gravitas to do an Alexis on Fire cover,
Right.
like, and do it well,
And doing both. He was doing both vocals.
yeah.
Oh wow! So he was doing
parts.
Dallas's parts, and he was doing
Yep.
what's his name's parts? I forget his stupid Canadian name, whatever his name. George, that's his name. George
That's a very
Yeah,
normal
super
name.
or
Canadian.
Petite or something. I don't know. But yeah, no, they're great, and reminds me of when Frontside did that cover of they did that
Even flow.
the Even Flow cover is good, but I think they did that Turnstile. No, that was who did the Turnstile cover? That was Sleeve did the Turnstile
Sleeve,
cover.
yeah.
Yeah, they ripped that Turnstile cover too. Yeah, no, I like it. I like the vibe. I like the I like the vocals. I kind of like the interplay between the bass and the guitar, and I love the drummer. The drummer's great. So yeah, it's a bummer that they're not a band anymore, but that was a pretty cool track, man.
And I love the little gospel like build up at one point towards the end
Right.
of the song. Like very tasteful. Like sometimes it just frustrates me with some bands that like blow up and some bands that just never get their shot. And I truly feel like if that track was released blindly under Dance Gavin Dance and just like fed out to all of their fans,
Right? Yeah.
I think that they would eat that shit up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds like the perfect like mid album of like when Johnny left Emerosa and Bradley came in, like that period of time would have been if this would have been an Emerosa album, it would have blown up.
Right. Yeah. No, I definitely would have. And the bummer about the reality about music and being in a band, right, is like a lot of it has to do with how hard you grind and how good you are, but unfortunately some of it also has to do with like what the people and the connections you can make and stuff. And sometimes great bands don't get some of the opportunities that mediocre bands get because of who they are.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to like dog somebody so hard, but I mean, I am a huge Title Fight fan, and I think that Glitterer or whatever the project that Jamie is in now is like the most terrible thing I've ever heard. Horrible, awful. And the same thing, honestly, with Homeboy that used to be in Tiger's Jaw. For the first couple of records, and then he started Wicca Phase Springs Eternal or whatever it is, and that's terrible. So just because you're in a good band, doesn't mean that your next band is going to be good. And unfortunately, just because you're in a good band doesn't mean you're going to get the recognition you deserve all the time.
Yeah.
It's a bummer. That's a huge bummer. But I guess that's just the way the cookie crumbles, isn't it? It's just.
What's funny too, like you brought up like Ned's band Glitterer, and you brought up the dude from Tiger's Jaw. Same thing with like Spencer Chamberlain with Sleep Waves.
Yeah, Ned is who I meant. Yeah, not Jamie. Ned. Yeah, thank you.
And then, yeah, I mean, Title Fight was such a pivotal band for anybody who grew up in that space of time that they came in. Like everything from like You Can't Stay at the Top Forever through Hyperview was just gold that they had put out.
Yeah, masterful. Great band. It's a bummer they're not around anymore.
Yeah.
Or or who knows? Maybe they'll decide to grace us with their presence in 2025 or something. I mean, it's.
I doubt it.
Who knows, man? Well, the Hotel Year, they were inactive for a long time, and they're starting to play some shows again, and there's some rumors that they're going to come out with a new record this year. So it's you never know.
You also said that about balance and composure too, and they just came out with a new record.
And that record is hella good too. Really good.
And it's funny too, speaking of Title Fight, I think maybe once a week I'll watch their This Is Hardcore set from like 2016 that Sonny did from Hate 6.
Mhm.
I'll literally just watch that because that is the best Title Fight set
Oh, so good.
you'll ever watch. Like,
it's so good.
Ned doesn't sing at all, like through 80% of it
Right.
because everybody's like stage diving.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah,
definitely go watch that if you haven't watched it. To the people out there on the internet.
Trust me. And also, if you're in need of a cool live video, one that I have been watching over and over again is this is like one in your put this in your Wayback Machine, but The Devil Wears Prada playing assistant to the regional manager from Warped Tour in 2014 is quite honestly one of the best 4-minute videos I've ever seen because their old drummer was just so good, and I could just listen to him play forever. But anyways, let's move on. What do we got next?
Yeah, this is gonna be a real blind read. It's my Scene Kid card because I know that this band is super popular. I just actually never got around to checking them out. And this is one that Justin recommended. It's Anxious Head and Spine. I did see that they're from Connecticut, which is like also crazy to think that they aren't like heavy on my radar, especially with how close.
So
it is
before we get
Island
into this track, I just want to say that Bambi is one of my most anticipated albums of 2025.
Yes.
And also, I know this is their new single. I've not listened to this new one yet, but I have listened to Counting Sheep on rotation like probably 50 times. So I'm really excited to dig into this one. This is a cool one.
So I was going to choose Counting Sleep, but Counting Sleep technically came out in 2023.
True. Yeah.
So I was like trying to keep it like between the months of July through the end of the year.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
But this was a band that literally popped up on my radar like the end of 2023. And I just never stopped listening to them. So if you don't know who Anxious is, I think they're on Run for Cover Records. They are on Run for Cover.
Not for long though.
No, not for long. But I just remember Run for Cover putting out a lot of my favorite bands, back in the early 2000s and the 2010s. So,
Basement,
I was
Tiger's
Jaw. Like, I'm gonna love this band.
Yeah. No, Run for Cover is the jam, man. Great record label, tons of great music. But yeah, man, play this ish. Let's do it.
We're doing it.
All right, let's do it. Hold on. My computer's being slow.
We gotta put the Jeopardy theme in the middle.
Oh yeah. I think I'm just a sucker for dual vocals.
This is the band to get into then. They're gonna blow up this year.
Yeah, they really are.
And it's funny, Mikey, like if you like this song, you're gonna love Counting Sheep.
I absolutely love this. This is my jam.
Yeah, the video for Counting Sheep is great too.
Yes.
Like who have they toured with? I'm guessing like all of my other favorite bands.
Yes. I'll pull it up right now.
Yeah, I don't know who they've been around with, but with bands you probably like, yeah, for sure.
Uh,
I'm getting like Arm's Length a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, they're in that kind of camp, I could see them ending up on Wax Bodega where Arm's Length are and Hot Mulligan, like all those bands and stuff.
Well, Mikey, one of your favorite Long Island bands opened up for them a few months ago.
Koyo?
No,
Oh,
Inner Love
really?
opened up for them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Inner Love did open up for them. Yeah, that's
Yep.
right.
Oh my God. H.
They were also on.
It was either an AMH or the VFW.
Yeah, they also played Blissmas this year for the Better Lovers. Every Time I Die annual fest. So they played with Converge, Dying Wish, Atomic Rule, and Teenage Wrist.
Love Teenage Wrist.
Dude, I all of their music.
Yeah,
Yep.
That is my
that's a
bread
good
and butter,
song, man.
dude. I am so happy that at least we like did this tonight. Like, if we never do this ever again, at least I now have another band that I absolutely love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
man.
they're such a good band.
They really are, and they are one of those bands that's kind of tight knit with both the like kind of emo community and the hardcore community. So like they, even though they don't sound like a hardcore band, they could, they would probably be, you'd probably see them on an Outbreak Fest or on even out of This Is Hardcore, because they just have that kind of gruffy vibe to them. But Counting Sheep is really is a little bit more of like a produced track. So when you hear it, it's not as gritty, but it is still like it's really good. And but yeah, I'm super anxious, no pun intended, for this record to come out. I think it comes out like February 21st or something.
Yeah, we've got like 40 days left.
Yeah,
I have the countdown ready to go.
So we got some time, but it's definitely going to be a good one. And yeah, the singles have been in heavy rotation for me for sure.
Yeah, and geez, I truly think that social media is both a blessing and a curse, right?
Right.
Because yes, you can reach so many more people than you could, say, 15, 20 years ago.
Right.
But it's so easy for things like the fact that they played with Inner Love a couple of weeks ago or whatever,
Right.
and did not even get on my radar. Like that's kind of crappy, especially since that is exactly the type of band that I love.
But I mean, isn't that kind of the beauty of discovering new music, right? Like, I mean, you could look at it in two different ways. Kind of, you can look at it half, glass half empty or glass half full. You can think like, man, like I've done with a lot of bands, like, man, I got to this band late and I really wish I had got to them sooner, because I really like them. And or you can kind of think to yourself like, okay, well, I didn't get to them, I didn't get to them first, but I got to them and I know that I like them and I know I can go back to their back catalog and, just kind of jam through their stuff, right? So luckily that's one good thing about, the accessibility of streaming services, right? Like, we all know, having our podcast for so long and having talked to musicians that have had to go through, the bullshit of, of these platforms to know why they're terrible, but they are good for some things, right? They're good for discovery. They're good for, your listener. They might not be the best for the artists, unfortunately, and hopefully that changes at some point, but at least we get to reap the benefits as listeners. You can just jump on Spotify right now and type in Anxious and say, oh, look at, Little Green House was a great record. I'm going to listen to this whole record. And, boom, you got it right in front of you. So, it's a great tool that, if you use it in conjunction with supporting your favorite artists, in a
Yes.
in a physical way, whether that's buying a record or buying a t-shirt or going to a show, right? I mean, you are at least, doing the right thing by them to support them and give them the opportunity to do what they do. And even if they're only getting pennies on the dollar for the streams, it's something.
Well, it's like that thing that we always say, like, if you listen to a band, show it to your friend, they're going to show it to their friends. And
Mm.
yeah, like, compound interest doesn't sound very interesting when I talked about it in terms of music. But I mean,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
Mikey's never heard of this band before, and I just introduced him to it, and he's going to go and probably listen to the whole back catalog
Oh, yeah.
relentlessly on his drive to
Right.
work next week.
Yeah. And that's great. And then it'll come time where, Mikey will interact with somebody and be like, "Hey man, have you ever heard this band?" And then, and that's kind of where the train starts, right? So,
Yep.
And that's good for, for bands that are on independent labels like Run for Cover, and, bands that might not have the luxury of, a band that's on a major label that has a budget to spend on all of this PR and all of this
And
advertising
marketing
and stuff like that.
campaigns.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Where, sometimes it's got to be grassroots, right? And sometimes you just got to rely on having a really good music video, having some good singles, and hoping that it catches fire, right? And I think that's kind of what Anxious is banking on. And I think it's going to work out for them this year. Like, I really do. I think they could be kind of the sweet pill of 2024, where kind of Sweet Pill was one of those bands that was on the upswing, and then 2024 hit. They signed to Hopeless. They put out Star Child, and now they're kind of just like one of the, biggest rising stars kind of in indie music, right? So I think this could be Anxious's year.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Based on that, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and that wasn't even like Tom said, that wasn't even the polished single. Like, wait till you listen to Counting Sheep.
Yeah, Counting
Like
Sheep.
that song's going to be in your head for months.
Yeah, it's been on my rotation heavy. That's been on my rotation heavy, and a couple of other things, but we can chat about that. So how many more do we have left here?
I have two
got
more,
two more.
and then yeah,
two more. I mean, I know we're what are we? We're at 52. Honestly, I think if I'm just speaking out loud because this is our test run, even if it is live. But I think if we kept it to probably 5 songs, I think that would probably put us, based on how we're talking, would probably put us at right about an hour.
I was thinking like 2 songs each, like,
right. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Make it at 6,
right? 6,
and doing like a band that we know, and then a band that is on our release radar that one of us might not know.
Right,
it would be really cool.
I'm cool with that. I think that's cool. Yeah, I think and I don't know. What do you think, Mikey? Obviously trying to keep it an hour is probably where we want to be, right?
Yeah. I think once we start getting used to this too, we'll be able to, fly through this a little bit faster, because this is a brand new format that we're testing out.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we
if
could
you find
do 2
an
songs
application
each
that can rip music videos, that'd be faster.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yes,
that's true.
That would be.
If anybody out on the internet that watches this knows a good MP4 converter, let us know. Put it in the comments.
Yeah, amen. But let's get to the next track. This band is not new to me, but the single is. And Steven, if you are listening, please don't yell at me that I did not listen to the single. But super excited to hear some new Like Father. I every time I talk to Steven from the band, I always tell him, and I don't think, Tom, you've ever even met him. Maybe? No? Yeah, I don't think you ever have.
He was at year 1.
Oh, maybe. So maybe I met him in passing. I don't know. Could be.
You might have met him in passing.
But every time I talk to him, I always tell him, like, this is Tom's band. Like, I'm always like, my buddy Tom would absolutely love you guys.
Well, now we're going to find out.
Yeah. It just
they got a trombone part like solo.
Oh, ooh, hell yeah. By the way, best trombone solo goes to Hair by the Early November. just in case anybody wanted to know
Okay.
what my opinion is. But this could beat out Hair by the early November, but we'll see.
To bring it full circle, Tom.
Yeah.
When we were doing a little preview show with Jamie Gons, I played Like Father because we were previewing the Orlando date.
Right.
And I gave him the whole spiel. I was like, all right, the next band is a Tom's band. And after he watched it, he totally agreed. He was like,
This is a Tom's band.
This is a Tom's band.
Man, you know, some people just know where my wheelhouse is. So, you know, I'm stoked, man. Let's get it going.
All right. Sorry, no fancy music video for this one.
All good, man. Saves us the bandwidth, probably.
The screaming cicadas never cease while I sleep. Feels like I'm drowning in the sound. The scenes, they move so fast. Our old place, my own face, I hardly recognize it now. Hey, I just might die here. That's okay, I'm at peace or just medicated. Well, I need a reminder what it's like to feel joy times are thirsty here in hell. I fly cross country thinking home. Anywhere I go, I am still alone. Beneath your gaze, I turn to stone. Anywhere I go, I am still alone. Riding on a gradient, yellow to green. I thought it just might heal me. My mind is skipping tape that's playing my regrets. I think I need to feel these racing thoughts that'll open up. Once I'm diagnosed and stop the bleeding, still I carry the thought of you like a Holy Ghost. Pray to you each evening. I grew out a mustache, learned to fight some way you wouldn't recognize me now. Time's moving so fast.
Wow. Okay.
Is that Orlando, by the way?
Yes.
I didn't realize there were that many lakes.
Yeah, well, we're right next to Claremont, which is like the city of lakes. There's so many lakes that the county is called Lake County.
Is there someone in the band that legit plays the trombone, or did they
Yeah, Eddie does.
get one of their friends? Okay.
I mean, dude, it's a great song. I get the vibes. I totally get the vibes. I like it. I think you know, I liked when he kind of sort of let his vocals loose a little bit, and he kind of, you know, sort of did a little bit of that scream singing. That's my jam. I like that, you know, when you kind of are pushing your voice a little bit. It's a good song, you know. It's a really good song. The guitar interplay was really pretty cool. I get a bang of arm's length off of it a little bit, you know. Like I get that sort of morose emo vibe. I I mean, I couldn't pinpoint all the lyrics because it was the first time I heard it, but he said something about like growing a mustache so someone would recognize him. So I was like, okay. um, but yeah, man, I love that, like emo music, right, can kind of be whatever you want it to be these days, right? Like, it doesn't need to be gate kept so hard. And I think, a band like that can really probably do some pretty good things in that space, just by, kind of having some similarities to some, other bands that are starting to get really popular. But the whole idea of like those kind of like sort of sad, downtrodden kind of, uh, I like to call them like, like songs like waves in the ocean, right? Where it's just like, it's not that dynamic, right? Like the song didn't have like lots of starts and stops and, lots of changes and stuff. But I mean, it had some good ebbs and flows, right? Which is, what you want in a track like that. Like you want to kind of keep your listeners engaged, and it was an engaging song. So, where
Yep.
did you find out about these guys? Who is this one?
So they're an Orlando band.
Okay.
So Eddie has been in the scene for years.
Right.
I met Eddie when he was in his old band False Narrative years ago.
Okay.
And then I believe that Like Father is essentially the Eddie's, and I could be completely wrong about this, but I think I'm like 95% right. Is almost like Eddie's kind of like outlet for, dealing with the grief of losing his father.
Sure.
So it's really kind of like an ode to that. But it's funny, them live, spectacular, like the way that they play and like the energy that they
Right.
put out. But they have this song called Midnight that they have this breakdown at the end of it. And right before the breakdown live, they do a pause where Steven gives the drummer Frank a microphone, and Frank will normally do like something funny in the microphone. But at Bar Down in Orlando this past year, he did the entire promo of Stone Cold Steve Austin's King of the Ring speech to Jake the Snake Roberts.
Oh my God, dude. Talk about your Psalms. Talk about your John 3:16s. Austin 3:16 says, I just whipped your ass.
And then they went right into the breakdown right after that. And it was, and
Oh,
dude, he
I
was
fucking love
practicing it
that.
for like weeks. But yeah, I was like, man, I really wish Tom was here to hear that because he would have died.
I love a good pick call. I've been getting more and more into more aggressive music lately, and some of the live songs I listen to have just the most absurd pick calls. Like my guy from KK Texas, baby, Kubla Khan, just saying the word baby 30,000 times because he's from Texas. He's like, yeah, I'm from Texas, baby. Yeah, this is gonna be a breakdown. Ant pile number 2, baby, from North Texas. I'm just like, what are you talking about? But good for you. Good for you. No, honestly, great song, great band. Would love to see them live. And I always love when bands live are like a little bit like more, just a little bit more harder and energetic than they are on record. Like one of my favorite things, was always one of my favorite things about, one of mine and Mikey's favorite bands, The Sleeping. I always felt like, they were great on record, but I felt like whenever you saw them live, they just brought it so much harder. I think that's, I think that's something that can make or break you, that can get you like, I mean, maybe not so much these days because I think so much is predicated on how your streams are looking. But I think back in the day, a good live show could very easily take you from a band that may not get a record deal to a band that would get a record deal, right? So, I think the whole idea of, NoFX, right, being like, oh, I heard they suck live, and like, oh, they do suck live, but they're NoFX and it's punk, those days are like over, right? You can't really do that anymore. You can't suck because no one's going to listen to you if you suck. So, you gotta bring it. So, and cool to hear that these guys bring it, but that's definitely a track I'd check out again for sure.
And Justin, you mentioned their drummer. I'll never forget Atticus coming up to me at the Orlando date and being like, dude, like is that an NFL tight end? Like, that is the biggest dude I've ever seen. And he's wearing like these really short cut off jeans.
He's got a crop top.
He got a crop top, but just muscles everywhere.
Dude, it's like not that there's muscles everywhere, but it's like August Burns Red. Like they all just wear like Hollister and Lacoste polos. And then they get on stage and just rip face for like 2 hours, and then they're just like, they're just like, yeah, no, we're going to PacSun real quick to get some visors, you know.
I got to go get a new polo from Aeropostale.
Like what the fuck? But you know, like
there's no way Hollister still exists.
Oh, dude.
Oh, 100%.
No, because you're not buying clothes from Hollister to support Hollister anymore. So
or you're not going to a mall. That's what it is. You're not going to the mall.
I think Mikey had a Hollister polo in maybe every color growing up. Blue,
it happened. It was
red.
2002.
Yeah, that was the hit thing to do.
Fuck yeah, it was, man.
So they moved here in Orlando. We have Florida Mall, and they moved the Abercrombie and Fitch from one side of the mall to the other side of the mall. So what the Abercrombie and Fitch carcass is now is like a sneakerhead store. So they just sell sneakers. But I swear to God, you walk in there and it still smells like Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yeah, I don't think that smell ever.
Like you cannot get that smell out of the foundation of the mall.
No, you can't.
No,
like it Abercrombie and Fitch probably hasn't been there since before the pandemic, and it still smells like an Abercrombie and Fitch the minute you walk in there.
Smells like just shitty cologne and fucking.
It overpowers the Auntie Anne's that's right in front of it.
Oh, that smell! Bottle that smell up though, and
sell it in a candle.
I'll fucking wear that as a cologne. All right, Mike.
I love how you just called it Auntie Anne's.
Go.
What do you call it, Auntie Anne's?
Yeah. Oh, that's good. But yeah, this is another new one for me, maybe for Tom as well. But it's Like Roses, Broken Things Lie to Me. I had no idea who this band is, and
wait, did you say
did not
like Roses?
Yeah.
Oh shit,
yeah.
Dude, Stuck has been on my rotation for months. I love that band. So, but what's the name of this song?
The newest single that he just put out on Stuck.
Broken Things. Yeah.
Oh wait, am I thinking of the right? Like Roses is the like Roses Stuck, right? Like I'm not going crazy. Am I thinking of a different?
No, you're not going Stuck. Yeah, this is the band. Yeah, I think Broken Things was the latest single that they put out in the waterfall of Stuck.
Sweet. Okay, awesome. Yeah, no, I like for a second I was like, am I going crazy? But yeah, they're from Cali, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
We just Out of Time opened for them on the Young Culture show. So that's the first time I saw them live.
Very cool. Awesome. Yeah, no, I'm stoked to hear this. I really like the song Stuck. I've been listening to that like ad nauseum, really. So stoked to hear this one, man. Let's do it.
It's loading. There we go.
Somewhere new, pretend like I'm still open.
I love tappy leads, man. Love me some tappy leads.
I believe that you could love me if I'm suffering. A body you crawl into bed with till you forget.
So I could see how you might not love their lyrics. Not their lyrics, their vocal styles. It's a little I wouldn't say grating, but it's definitely very unique.
Yes.
I happen to love it. You know, I love what they're doing. And I love what it like the kind of like ethos it gives the songs, but I could see how it could be a little, you know, it could be tough to hang with sometimes.
Definitely gives me like 90s vibes.
Yes. She Amy, when they were on tour with Sad Summerfest, she would come out on stage with Mayday Parade and sing some of the Jason Lancaster parts
Oh,
live.
that's sick. I love that.
Nailed it.
Oh.
And you gotta love a band that isn't all white cis males, you know? You don't get that very often.
No. Especially from the Bay Area.
What a cowboy hat. Woo! Hell yeah.
Dude, this reminds me of the like, oh my god.
I will suffocate, darling, I'll be anything you need. We're just broken things. We can pretend
I'll take an intro like this, an outro like this any day of my life.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember how they came up on my radar because I was listening to them before we opened for them, and I feel like it was off of Stuck. It was Splenetic was the song
Yeah,
that
that's a
I
good
was
song.
just hooked on,
Yeah.
and I just listened to it nonstop because it's one of those songs that just like hits home
Mm-hmm.
when you listen to it, and it's just really cool. Like Amy and Kayla, the singer and the bass player, they hung out with us all night, so it was like really fun just being able
Sick.
to talk with them, and
Sweet.
we were hanging out with Brompton from Action Adventure and Wilmette, which was really fun, and
Nice.
it was just overall a really good night, good vibes, and they just absolutely killed it live. And
Right.
just watching them on Sad Summerfest this past year was just like
Mhm.
the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, that's a getting on a tour like that is just an awesome opportunity. It kind of opens some eyes to a lesser known band that they're climbing the ranks, for sure. They're doing some good things. I think I might have been introduced to them through some sort of social media. I feel like they're one of those bands that's relatively active on social
Yes.
media, and I think that is a good thing. Another band that I found out that's really super active is this band called Wilt, who are really
Yep.
super good too. I think that sometimes when you do social media the right way, it could really really kind of expand your horizons and stuff. But what was your take on the track, Mikey? Is it your speed?
Dude, I absolutely love her voice.
Sick,
I
sick.
know you were saying that you weren't sure if
I mean, I love her voice, but I know what I was just saying is like I could understand if how someone could not enjoy it because it's kind of got that it's a little not to be mean, it's a little moany, it's got some some of that kind of candor to it, but I like that because that kind of reminds me of, again, like kind of that 90s alternative sort of
Love whole
sort of deal.
Yeah.
For sure. I like
Cranberries.
that. Yeah, right. The Cranberries, Hole, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, for sure. But no, great track, and a great choice too. And glad you didn't choose Stuck, because had you chosen Stuck, I would have probably just sang along to the whole thing.
Well, it was funny. Like I was trying to find bands that really kind of stuck with me throughout 2024 that might not necessarily have kind of like come up on the radar of a lot of things. Like I listened to a ton of Bill Murray, and everybody that I know had Bill Murray on, their their top
I
artists.
mean, American Motorsports is like, is
And
somehow a
version,
classic already, and it's only a year old.
it is barely a year old. And then they put out the deluxe version, which is even better.
Yeah, which
like
has
with End and Bout a Cashew and so many good songs.
Yep.
So I really wanted to kind of not only showcase bands that not a lot of people have probably heard of,
right.
But also I like introducing Mikey to new bands because
that's so much fun, right?
it's so much fun because he gets really into it
when
and
he
I
listens.
like
When he listens
to it.
Now
and when he
doesn't
listens, he
listen to me.
enjoys it.
He doesn't listen to me. Like, I guarantee you, I probably told him about Anxious in 2021. He was just like, whatever, bro.
Well, it's so funny, Tom, that you mentioned that because I went to our Instagram to go follow them, and
he's already following them.
Yeah, because
I probably wanted to get him on the show, and if you probably look, I probably sent them a message like, "Hey guys,
but
please come on our show."
You did.
Yeah, I don't fuck around,
now,
dude.
To Mikey's credit, I don't think Mikey would be the biggest fan of Little Green House or Down Down.
Yeah,
but
yeah, you're probably right.
Bambi's right up his alley.
Yeah,
like, Bambi is going to be a
give Little Green House a listen. You might dig it, but yeah, Anxious is the real deal, man. So all right, well, I like how this went. I think we could tighten it up a little bit and kind of figure it out. But I guess for those of you that are going to check this out, we love feedback. So maybe you can tell us what you think, you'd want to hear. Maybe, I have a couple of ideas that I kind of want to try out. I know Mikey's got some ideas, and I'm sure Justin does too. But, we're kind of feeling this out and seeing how it goes. And, if anything, we love recommendations. So, if you're out there and you're listening and you got some tunes that you think we would be into and you want us to maybe, give a listen on a show or something like that, hit us up. I'm sure we'd be able to work on something like that. And I'm going to reintroduce you guys to some of my favorite music from the mid 2000s as we go along, and some stuff that you've probably haven't listened to in 20 years, and some stuff that maybe you never listened to that you didn't know existed in 2005, but I promise you that I will tell you that it did. So on that note, I'm stoked that we're back. Like, that's really, for me personally, I don't, everybody could listen or nobody could listen, but at the end of the day, we get our built-in time to bullshit about music. So, I'll take that over anything, really. So,
I've definitely been missing it.
Yeah,
it's kind of been in one of those routines that hasn't been in my rotation for a little bit. I'm like, I miss kind of talking music with these guys.
Yeah, and I miss I miss just the camaraderie of having having something to kind of bond over every week. And I really love the idea of kind of exploring this music together, and kind of hearing it for the first time, and having some some kind of cool, honest feedback, because the three of us have a lot of interlocking music tastes, but there are a lot of things that I know I like that you guys might not be into, and vice versa. And I'm really excited to kind of expand horizons and, try some stuff out that maybe I wouldn't have thought to. The good thing about you guys is you guys really have your finger on the pulse of your local music radar, which is an awesome thing, because there's always such great music coming out of Central Florida and South Florida and Charlotte and the surrounding areas. And I mean, obviously Long Island too. Shout out our homeboys in Moose Creek Park and Inner Love and
Jam Poetry
and fucking Koyo and Standstill and
Regulate.
Fuck yeah. Harry. What's up, Harry? You fucking Capitals fan, you dick. You're not listening, but anyways.
He's in No Pressure too, actually.
He is in No Pressure too, yeah, with fucking Parker Cannon / Liam Gallagher. Not that I don't love the story so far, but move around a little bit. Have some fun. Well, I don't know. I don't have anything else to add. I had a really good time, and
it was
hope we do this again.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you check this out, give us your feedback and tell us what you think. But
Yep.
and you
let
know,
us know what's on your release radar that you really
for
dig
real.
too, because this is literally just trying to find new artists that we can obsess over and, you know, put on our Spotify Wrapped for 2025.
Sure, yeah, and also we're always into recommendations of, you know, like maybe it's your band or maybe it's like, you know, your friend too. So don't be shy, don't be bashful. We're all nice, we're all cool. Reach out to us and you know, let us know, because, you know, we'd love to have your music on here and do some cool shit. So all right, boys, love yous, and we'll see you next week, huh?
Talk to you next week.
Woo!
Yep. Peace.